Uh, Good evening, colleagues. Thank you very much for joining us today again for another special interview with Mr. Sipho Mashego, who's a renowned um, ring announcer and a boxing commentator. And we just want to learn about, how he started to build his career in boxing. Also, we want to discuss with him, the business of boxing, because we've got different understandings, depending on where you're standing in terms of what needs to be done, to run a successful business. Whether you want to be a promoter, you want to be a broadcaster, or a YouTuber like us, but then we'll get the ideas from Mr. Sipho Mashego. So it took a great honor to have him in the channel. Uh, my sincere apologies for the previous interview. Something happened. There are things that we can't control, colleagues. Uh, you know, uh, when we set up an interview, we make arrangements with the interviewees, but sometimes something comes up and then they have to postpone for another date. So it's not a problem. We have to arrange for another date. So nothing to be worried about. We are going to have an exciting evening discussing with Mr. Sipho Mashego from Fosloras, in terms of uh, his career in the ring. He's not a boxer in the ring. He's a ring announcer. You see him on TV a lot when he is doing work for various promotions, especially in the area of Gauteng. But of course, he's going to give us a lot, when he joins us in terms of exactly, what he's up to. But I love his passion about boxing. I love what he. Bye bye, my friend. Go well. We'll talk later, ne? Sharp, sharp. So I'm looking forward to the debate. Okay. Thank you very much. Let's give him a second, then you come and be live with us. If you've got questions that we can ask Mr. Mashego, please, you can start to pump in those questions or those comments, or anyone you would like us to interview in this platform. So please share with us and give us those ideas, because that's the only way we can grow this channel. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. We're checking the numbers, and I see some of you are cheating. When I look at the viewership on Facebook, I mean, close more than 60 people watch the channel every time, and the video over a period of a week clocks not less than 180 views. And when I look back at the YouTube subscription, I don't see those numbers being transferred into the YouTube numbers. This is a problem. We need those numbers to grow, guys. We need the numbers to grow. Please tell your friend, your family friend, your sports friend to please subscribe to the channel and support the channel. But that's the only way we can make things better for us. Okay, I don't know if Mr. Mashego is struggling. I hope you don't mind if I call him and check, if he's winning. Hey, my brother, how are you? Good. Are you winning on your side? Oh, I see. I see. Okay. Yeah, it works. It should work. Also, if you can click the link from your phone, then it should also work. Yeah. No, you should not be backstage. You should be joining me. You can see me. Yeah, but now you know what? Can you? Okay. Okay, leave that link, and then let me create another link for you because I can't see you the site. Okay, thanks, influence. Sure, sure. Sorry, colleagues. Sorry, sir, colleagues. We're experiencing technology challenges, but of course, we are working on that. So give me a minute. I am going to solve this. I'm going to solve this for Mr. Mashego because we need him here. Sure. What will it be if we can? Yeah, StreamYard. Oh, that's why. Forward. Mashego. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. We are going to be starting soon. Okay, we're waiting for Mr. Mashego joining us within a minute now. Let's have those questions, guys. Questions that you like us to ask him, so that we can have an exciting discussion. So I'm looking forward to those questions. I hope that technology doesn't fail us now, because initially it was something else. Now, technology must not fail us. Technology must not fail us. Yes, we're waiting for Mr. Mashego. He should be joining us shortly. Whilst we're waiting for Mr. Mashego, please, guys, subscribe to the channel. We need numbers. The YouTube game is about numbers. It's about numbers. It's about how many subscribers do you have, how many people like your channel. So please subscribe. There's a subscribe button after each and every video that you watch. You click that subscribe button, Then on far right, there is a bell. You click that bell to give you options. But that bell is important. You want every time we have a video, because sometimes we'll have interviews during the day, sometimes afternoon. So you want to be notified that if you are free, you can join us. And of course, if you're not free, you can always watch, the channel later. So we are waiting for Mr. Mashego. This is tricky now. Okay. That is Judah Junior is asking what to be the topic about. That is, we invited him with Sipho Mashego so that we can discuss with him, of course, about his career in the ring. And also, we want to discuss the business of boxing, the economics of boxing, things such as advertising, revenue, and so on. Yeah, there's a problem, guys, with the technology here. Uh, he is also calling me again. Just give me a minute. I can't get in it. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, Stuta is waiting. Yeah, he's waiting for you. That's true. I sent it on WhatsApp, ne? I send it on WhatsApp. Then you go on WhatsApp. Then you go to the link. Just click the link and put your name, and then we are live. Okay, thanks. Okay. Yeah, Thais, I told him that you are waiting for him. Yeah, so we are trying, colleagues, to bring you the best of boxing. I mean, people who influence boxing activities today. Boxing analysts, boxing experts, ring announcers, boxing writers. We will bring you boxers locally and internationally. We will do these interviews. But of course, everything we do it step by step. But don't be worried. Continue to support us. We will get this right. We'll get this perfect. I watch a lot in the US. There he is. A lot of online boxing channels. There he is. Finally. I hope. Finally.
Finally, that happened.
Finally, you would beat the technology this time.
Oh yeah, I know you, the guru. So I
Hey, this
wasn't even
technology almost
concerned.
embarrassed us.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for joining us. It's an honor for us to be graced by your presence. Welcome to Mbuyegezo TV. It's a YouTube channel and also a Facebook channel where we bring, boxing experts, analysts, enthusiasts, fans, everyone. We don't discriminate. We don't say, we want this group, we don't want that group. This is a channel for everyone so that we can start to put boxing in the mainstream of the sports economy. If you talk to your child, I was speaking to my child, a couple of days earlier, I said, no, Dad, you love this boxing of yours. Nobody cares about boxing. Boxing is a small sport. Diego Dean, we must sit down and talk. Your father is one of the passionate people in boxing, and he's doing a lot of work to promote this sport. And it's not only me, it's people like yourselves, Mashego, who really we put this sport into, the mainstream, whether it's in the print, electronic media, whether it's in the corridors of taxi ranks and everywhere. So that's the only thing that's going to help us. So with those words, I'm just welcoming you to the channel and say that I invited you just to talk briefly about, your background, what made you to be interested in the sport of boxing. Was I read some articles where you said you are a tennis player.
Oh
And then we'll talk
yes.
about the business of boxing.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, just give us a
Okay.
background to to your career in boxing.
Okay, thank you very much,
Welcome.
Mr. Kopiso. I mean, television, it's quite an honor and a privilege to be on your platform. And I know you're doing such tremendous work, for boxing, showcasing the sport. And it's because of people like you and because of your TV and YouTube platform that we're able to showcase what we have, within the sport, the sport of boxing. And obviously the followers as well, who follow boxing are able to be enlightened, and kept abreast of what is happening within our sport. Yeah, you've said some very wonderful things that, your father, you're a father, and obviously the child is learning from you as well. And this is how we all grew up. I also grew up as this young kid. My father was always watching boxing, and I can remember we woke up in the morning to listen on the radio when Muhammad Ali was fighting, when Joe Frazier was fighting, when George Foreman was fighting. And those were the golden ages. That was the golden era where, if you look at the sport in totality and nationally and globally, those were the people that actually made us to become part and parcel of the sport. Muhammad Ali would be one of the greatest champions ever, and you got George Foreman, you got Frazier. Growing up like that, you get to understand the sport, you get to follow the sport, and at the local level, you had people like the Rose Dingan Tobela, you had Bulelo Potile, you had Makepula, Vuyani Bungu, you had baby, baby Joe Mia, you had baby Jakes, you had all these stars, that we grew up and we always as kids wanted to be like them, and we had at that time, we had the broadcaster, the public broadcaster, which was SABC, bringing the fights to the fans. We used to watch these fights, and we used to align with boxing. We used to really endear ourselves and understand who the champions are, at that time. Those were the golden eras, Now, growing up, and as you asked me, you said,
Okay, we are having issues. Gone. Technology can really show you flames. That's what we are experiencing today. The debate was starting, and we are still interested to know more about Mr. Mashego. He's a renowned ring announcer. He does a lot of work commentating and promoting the sport of boxing. So we just want to know exactly what is keeping him going. When did he start? Which fights were the best fights for him, and also just discuss about the pay-per-view model. Yeah, he is now back. I'm sorry for that.
well, these things happen, Mr. Kofi,
Yeah.
so these things will happen.
No. Yes.
We're living in an age where we have load shedding and we have all sorts of technical glitches. So it happens, and I'm just praying that we don't have load shedding, because we've been having that constantly. But like I was saying, I started off as a tennis player. I used to play tennis, competitive tennis, and then I got a scholarship to go overseas. I went and studied overseas. I actually went to a university called Texas Southern University in Houston. Houston, Texas. I studied BA economics. Graduated summa cum laude. And also played for my university.
Wow.
I played tennis for
athletics.
my university, you know, so I played collegiate tennis.
Oh, nice.
You know, SWAC,
Yes.
Southwest Athletic Conference, you know, where we were playing around Atlanta, you know, all those schools in Atlanta, the universities, very competitive. So I was grounded in tennis, you know, but then I met, you know, when I was over there, I had the opportunity to meet Evander Holyfield. You know, at one point I was at the KFC of all places, and he just walks in, you know, and he's a larger than life individual. And I'm like, what's going on? This is Evander Holyfield. You know, he greets me and I greet him, but I'm so scared to talk to the man because I know who he is. And I mean, I'm just like, yeah, how do you see somebody like this, like that, up close like that? I got to see George Foreman. He walks on campus, you know, on our campus, Texas Southern, and he walks there. And he says to me, and he asked me, where is the sporting arena? And I'm like, wow, you know, look, this is what happens. You meet the people out there. And then Muhammad Ali, I had an opportunity to meet him as well. He was at that time, he was marketing his perfume. He had a perfume range. You know, I actually have a picture at the moment with that perfume. You know, so I've actually seen people like that. I met them. I was still not in boxing, but when I graduated and I came back to South Africa, then the boxing bug hit me. You know. And it started with me doing some master of ceremonies events. I actually was a master of ceremony for Kaiser Chiefs. You know, Kaiser Chiefs. Yes, I actually did.
What year was that? What year was that?
Sorry.
What year was that when it started? What year was that?
Probably around 19. If I remember well, it was 1994. 1994. They had a national. Yes, they had a national Miss Kaiser Chiefs competition. It was at Carlton Center. I went and compared that, you know, and from then on, I thought, well, you know, I might try becoming an MC, you know, at events and all that. And I met the gentleman in Witbank when I was in Witbank, and he was in boxing by the name of Fani Mahlangu. I think it's Fani Mahlangu. He introduced me into boxing. Now, and then,
I don't want to cut you, but
you know, to that time, it was the South African Boxing Control Commission. I think there was then Christodolo, there was then Dr. Peter Ngatani, and I can remember they had sparring on that day, and I came into the ring. Yes, I walked into the ring. They said, well, this guy wants to be an MC and all that, and I was standing there. I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't understand what I was doing, half of what I was doing, but I was able to convey, you know. And so Dr. Peter Ngatani was very instrumental in bringing me into boxing, and then Christodolo. Yes. And that's where it started, you know. Then I was in Mpumalanga. We started having development tournaments. We had people like Stanley Sono, the late Stanley Sono, may his soul rest in peace. And a whole lot of other, you know, officials that came out there. And we started really with people like Paul Tsetla. Paul Tsetla was a promoter there, with Branko Milankovic, you know. And I started getting involved in a lot of shows, you know, and with that, countless shows that I've done up to this far. And this is where I am right now. And thank you to all the followers of boxing, you know, people that have taught me, people that have shared with me, you know, all the fans that have criticized me and actually built me positively. You know, it's all in the process of building a person. And thankfully, you know, all throughout the provinces, you know, the Eastern Cape, the Western Cape, you talk KZN, you talk Mpumalanga, you talk Gauteng, and we all one big happy family. You know, boxing is a family sport.
That's true.
Yes.
And
so that's
in
a nutshell. Yes, that's in a nutshell the journey that I've traveled, you know, and still traveling at the moment, you know, thanks to God and thanks to the followers, thanks to everybody that's in boxing, because I can tell you one thing, we are in the sport, but we've become more like a family. You know, we dissipate a lot of time with each other, we become family, you know, and that's what's so dear to me.
No, thank you, Sipho, for that background. I think you have a problem now because Uta Ace Situta in East London, he says now your friendship with him is gone because you just mentioned Hazer. Now you are in trouble. After this
That
interview, you
age will
must
always be like
apologize
that.
and say, no, it was just a job. You were paid for it. Okay. So now, I mean, yeah, of course, for me, you're just one of the ring announcers that really gets me excited and interested in the bouts that you introduce. Do you know, in a nutshell, how many bouts, or events you have done, professionally as a ring announcer?
Oh, you know what? I never keep count. I never keep count. I'm the type of person that will go into a tournament and
Yeah.
will compare, will be the MC. I
Yes.
don't
Yes. Yes.
even
Yes.
look at myself. I don't even watch a video of myself. I've never seen a video of
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I always think you can always do better, you know? You
Mhm.
always need to look at your faults and your mistakes and
Mm.
basically become your own best critic. You become your own,
Yeah.
you become hard. I am hard on myself. I don't want to make mistakes. And
Yeah.
and when I do that, I don't want to watch myself because I'm going to see a lot of mistakes. You see.
Yeah. No, that's
So
true. That's true.
so I don't know how many tournaments I've done.
Mm.
I really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, you probably more than 1,000 I probably would have done.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah, that's a huge
Hello,
number. I mean, yeah, that's a huge number. Of course. I mean, with your
hello, Mbulelo.
experience. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me? I can hear you. Can you hear me? Oh, yeah. So yeah, we are having technology issues. When people say there's a challenge, there are challenges of broadband in South Africa, they mean this. Okay, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I'm
Okay.
so sorry about that.
Yeah,
Um,
no problem. No problem.
yes, I
Uh,
was saying it's probably more than I could have done. Probably more than 500, 600.
yes.
I don't know. I
Mm,
don't have a number, but
yeah,
with
yeah,
that
yeah.
comes the experience as well. I've had an
Yes, that's
opportunity.
true. That's true.
I've been blessed that I've had a lot
Yeah.
of promoters that have given
Mhm,
me an opportunity. And
mhm.
what I would like to see happening as well, Mbulelo, is that I would like to see other MCs coming through the system. We cannot do
Yes,
this forever.
yes, yes, yes,
We
yes,
need
yes,
to
yes.
start grooming. I need to start seeing a lot more MCs coming in and doing better, emulate, do better than us. And
Yes,
this is
yes,
where we
yes.
have to take the sport. We can't just be doing the
Yeah.
same thing forever. We need to
No, that's
look at
true.
another level. How do we grow the sport with the experience
Yeah.
that we have now and the opportunity that we had? We need now
Yeah.
to impart knowledge to
Yes.
the up and coming
The
MCs.
next
Well, I haven't
generation.
seen MCs coming up. I don't know if people are scared, but we
Yes,
need
yes,
to start grooming them. We need to start
yes,
grooming them in terms of
yeah.
sustainability in the sport and be
Yes.
and longevity in the sport.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think we will get there because I think every year there's a growing number of youngsters who are taking up licenses to be ring announcers. I know one guy in the Western
Wonderful.
Cape, yes, and
Hmm.
also one guy in the Eastern Cape. So I think the guys are coming on board. But I mean, these past 2 years have been very difficult, for the sport
Yes,
because
yes,
of the COVID and associated regulations.
absolutely.
Now, I just want that, yeah. I hope next time when we talk, you'll give us a figure in terms of how many, because those youngsters who will come after you, they must know. that they are
Yes.
starting, you have
Yes.
gone so much. If it's 1,000,
Yes.
it's 1,000. If it's an estimate, it's an estimate. But let's have that number.
There was a time I was keeping count and I lost it. I just lost
Oh,
count.
I know,
Yeah, I
I
just
know.
lost count because when
Yeah.
you want to be the best at something, you got to
Yes.
repetitively do it. Do the same thing,
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
the type of person who says, you do the same, you get the same result. So you got
Yes.
to
Yes.
really master your art. You got to be able to perform and give the best. That is why you can see me if I dress differently. I come with this
Yes.
different kind of dress, and
Yeah.
I
Your
thought,
dress
yes,
taste, I mean, is top
yes, and
notch.
I can change. I'm not bragging about this, I'm just
No,
saying this
you
is what I
are.
do.
I
And
was
I thought,
struggling
let
to
me
choose
think.
your
Let,
picture for this interview because you
let me think out of the
look
box.
good.
I mean, I hope Stuta doesn't say something different. But I would, I would say in one tournament, I'd have two costumes. I'll change
Oh,
twice.
okay. Okay,
Yes,
I
I've
never
done that.
noticed
I've
that.
done that many times.
Okay.
I've put on a
Okay.
Rastafarian attire. I put on
Yeah,
as a
okay.
Rasta and I went on the ring
Uh-huh.
as a Rastafarian. When Andre
Oh,
Tese was
yes.
there, I did, may his soul rest in peace as well, because he said to me, Sipho,
Yes.
I want you to be like a Rastafarian. And I said, I'm going to do it. So,
I'll do it for
but the
you.
reason why we do that, Mbulelo, is that we have to think differently than what the Americans do. I
No,
can't
that's
be
true.
Michael Buffer.
True.
You know,
No,
I
no,
can't
that's true.
go
That's true.
talk like Michael Buffer. I can't, be a
Mm,
parrot
mm.
like Michael Buffer. That's why
Yes,
sometimes when people
yes,
say they're gonna really relate you to a certain ring announcer, and they say
yeah,
they make differences. They say, look, let's see you different from this man because of this. I think that we African. In fact, we
mm,
got to
mm.
cultivate the African culture and come up with an African style of an MC.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's
But
Africa.
no,
This is
but
Africa.
no,
Yes, we
I don't know.
cannot, we cannot be, Michael Buffer. You understand? So somebody
Yes, yes,
says,
yes.
hey, he looks like Michael Buffer. I think, why are you saying that? Because I'm an
Yeah,
African.
because you are
I want
trying
to
to be
be
yourself.
African.
Yeah.
Yes, that is why I will
Okay.
come on and say, Kuyafiwa. You understand? It's our
Yes,
language.
yes, yes, yes.
It's
That's
our
true.
language. Gushubile. It's our language. You
Exactly.
know?
And
I'm
you
not
get the
gonna say,
crowd
I'm
behind
not gonna
you.
come in and say,
Everyone is
let's get
watching.
ready to rumble and become like Michael
No, we
Buffer.
can't. You can't
You
imitate.
know, we can't.
You
That
must
is
keep
what
it
we got
local
to
and keep it
teach.
real.
Yeah, that is what we got to teach our up and coming MCs to say, now you're
Yeah.
becoming African. You are African. Now come with your own initiatives and your creativity into the
Yes.
sport, and we set the sport alight. We got to,
I
because
agree with
remember,
you.
as an MC, you are the center of attraction. You are
Exactly.
there. Yes. The boxers are the stars. You are the
Yes.
center of attraction. You have
Yes.
to make the tournament
Mm,
likable. The
yeah.
tournament has got to be attractive because of you. You got to be
Exactly.
able to relate
Exactly.
to the people. You got to be able to
Yes.
relate to the boxers. You got to be
Yeah.
able to be the person who actually says to people and the boxing fans out there, watch this tournament.
Yes, that's true.
Yes, watch
That's
this
true.
tournament.
Because
The
if you
reason
lose
why I'm
it
watching
and
it
when
is
people,
because I'm getting excited. I want to see what's
yes,
happening. I want to hear this, and that's what
yes.
it's about. It actually takes a long, long time to cultivate that, but it's something that a lot of people
Mhm.
can master.
Yes, no, 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 that's true, Principal. And now, since you guys asking a question, I think you might have highlighted this earlier, but it is you to us answering directly as to whether you are a Rastafarian. Are you a Rasta?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Look, I think that I think that people are unique, in their own given ways, and
Yes, yes,
and Rastafarians, I really respect them. I respect Peter
of
Tosh. I
course,
respect
of
Bob
course, yes,
Marley. The
yes.
Jamaicans, and I respect
Mm,
our people as well because they've identified themselves as Rastafarian. So it's basically to me to
mm,
say there is a certain culture that we can look at and obviously embrace it as a people, and respect those people as well. So
Yes,
it
yes.
was in a way for me to highlight that, but in an African context, but within the ring, and it came out. A lot of people were. I get criticisms all the time. I live with them, and obviously I grow because of criticism, and you got to be able to intellectualize that and assimilate that in whatever goals and objectives you have as a person.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. No, no, I think I was going to ask you, what makes you successful, in your ring announcer uh, role, but I think you spoke about your dress sense, you're having a unique style, making sure
Mm.
that you keep it African, making sure that you keep people excited. Is there something else that you bring to the table, to make sure that you always on top of your game as a ring announcer?
Oh yes,
I love your
I think
skills.
it's very pivotal. It's very important. It's a good question as well, Bulelo. That firstly, be humble. Just be humble as a person. This is
Yeah,
one thing that we lack, even as a nation. People do not possess humility. Be
yeah,
humble,
yeah.
respect people as well. You know,
Yes, yes,
learn from people. Learn
yes.
from people. Everyone has got their own speciality in life. I always
Exactly.
learn from people. It doesn't matter the person sweeps the street. Martin Luther King, one of the erstwhile civil rights leaders, said, if you sweep the street, sweep it like Michelangelo painted.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
you do your best as a person, that you become humble and you respect what somebody does. Mbulelo might do something that I do not know. Each and
Yes,
every
yes.
one of us has got a speciality. God grants
Exactly.
us that expertise
Exactly.
in life
I
and
believe
grants
fully
us
on it.
that gift
Yeah.
in life.
Yes,
So
yes,
be
yes.
humble, learn from people. And as an
Mhm.
MC, the one thing that I do, which I learned myself, was that get to know the boxers. It's about the
Exactly.
boxers. The
Yes.
product is the boxer. The product is
Yes.
not me. It's the boxer.
Yes.
You
Yes.
get to
Yes.
know the boxer. And I've learned
Mhm.
that once you know the boxers and you understand them and
Mhm.
you really relate to them, then they
Mhm.
better understand you. They will better understand you.
Exactly. And they bring the best out of you. And I hope that's not load shedding because it's 8 o'clock. And yeah, we're in the middle of it. We are in the middle of it. Yo, guys, I'm very sorry because it's difficult to say we can't do these interviews because we don't know upfront the challenges we are going to experience. So apologies for this. We will continue with this. Some interviews are going to be physical, where I've got the interviewees, and myself live. Some were going to be more than three people discussing a critical topic. So it's going to be like that. So I'm very sorry for these challenges. Um, yeah, this is interesting. I hope that people who want to be ring announcers, they are learning from this debate in terms of your dress sense, being humble, being original, you know, not forgetting your culture, and also do your research, understanding the athletes more, because talking to the athletes will make you to uh, to know how to present them. Sorry, Kursipo,
Nah,
technology.
that's okay. It's gremlins. It's gremlins in the system.
Yes, yes, yes. But this debate is very exciting, and I hope people are learning also in terms of what they need to do to be best at what they do in
Mhm.
boxing or in any other sport or in life in general. And now
Yes.
I wanted just to ask you a question,
Mm.
which might be tricky, but this is the last question that is tricky that I'm going to ask you. Other questions are
It's
not
a
tricky.
tricky question. It's gonna be
Is
tricky
there
coming from you.
is there a is as a ring announcer, as Sipho Mashego, is there a, a fight or a title fight that you would like to announce, or a belt, like maybe we want to announce a fight whereby two boxers are fighting for a WBC or IBF or WBO? Do you have those dreams, or you, of course, you are happy with the opportunity that you are getting, and what are your dreams?
That's a tricky question. That's a very good question. Look, look, everybody aspires to be the best, and I
Yeah.
always dream, well, maybe one day Mayweather fights and I'm right there in the
Yes.
middle.
Yes.
Yes, it's everyone's dream. It's my dream. But look, you don't even think about that, because in as much as I'm concerned, even a fight that's like a development fight, to me it's very
Yes.
important. To me,
No,
to
that's true.
me
Yeah.
it says a lot. When the boxer comes and says, I'm so
Yes.
glad you are the ring announcer,
Yes.
it makes me
Yes.
happy. It makes me
Yes.
so happy that
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
made the boxer happy. I'm there, just there as a ring announcer, and I don't want to be
Mhm.
seen as the best ring announcer. I don't like that. I don't like people labeling
Mhm.
me like that. I don't like people
Yeah.
labeling me as one of the best. I'm just there as a
Yes.
person
Yes.
doing my
Yes.
job,
Yes.
and doing the
Yes.
best I can to better be able to contribute to our sport. To me, that's
Mhm.
very important. The essential thing, very important thing, is to have that. I'm going to be announcing this fight, the return fight.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, I can tell you
Wow.
that. I'll be
Wow.
announcing that fight in
Congratulations. I love that.
yes, courtesy of TLB Boxing Promotions and Last Born
Yes.
Promotion.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'll be
Yes.
on. I'll be announcing that. To me, that's
Yes.
that to me is one great moment. Because to
Yes.
see
Yes.
to see somebody like Zolani Tete,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
we
Like you
watch
fall
him
into the
always
ring.
when he fights
Yes.
overseas, and
Yes.
and he's a star. He's a superstar.
No
And
man.
and
Yes.
and Kolisan Ndongeni will be on the bill.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I will be
Yes.
announcing those fights. Unfortunately, I'm
Wow.
not going to be announcing Azinga Fuzile. It would have been great for me to do that. And Steven Onchinga, the boys are going to be on a bigger stage. And I wish one day
Oh,
Eddie Heno, Bob Aram would say, Sipho, come here. And they can't even
yes,
pronounce my
yes,
name.
yes, yes. No, let's hope that, Pusipo, congratulations on your, appointment for this coming tournament of TLB
Okay.
Promotions. Congrats,
Okay.
Mklas. You deserve it. And I think until we get our boxing
Mm,
right,
mm,
to raise, the standard of our boxing, and make
mm.
sure that we bring more, investment into the sport. I think
Yes.
we'll be able to host those fights in
Mm,
South Africa. You know,
mm,
that okay, that is one thing I would love to see us doing.
mm,
Because that's
mm.
the only way, we'll get the recognition of all these, of the continent, of the world. If you look at the US, UK and Asia, the Philippines bring boxers here, and they're not doing enough research about us. They say, no, these
Mm,
boxers are coming to Africa. They're not saying they're coming to
mm,
South Africa, they're coming to Johannesburg. They're coming to
mm,
East London to fight for eliminator
mm,
or for a title shot. They just say they're coming to Africa. These people, they really do not want to give us, what the
mm.
recognition that we deserve. So
Absolutely.
I think we will be able to get there. We'll be able to get there.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
wanted
I
to.
think I think the point you're making is really point on. It's on point in the sense that we need to get to a different level as boxing. Boxing in South Africa,
Mm,
boxing in Africa in general, in totality. And we need to move from where we are, where we cannot even produce world champions you know. A country as big as South Africa, we only have right now we don't have a world champion. We don't have,
Yeah,
after Muruti Mtalani lost
yeah. That was
his
a sad
title.
one.
We don't have a world champion.
No,
It's
no.
sad. It's very sad. But we
Very
have
sad.
to transcend, the
Mhm.
boundaries. We have to
Yes.
move from where we are. We got to start
Yeah.
putting up fights like Tete. We got to put up fights like Azinga Fuzile in South
Yes.
Africa, in Africa.
Exactly.
We
Yes.
got to
Yes.
move and look at how we can emulate what the zone does. I know you as
Yes.
a Mbuyegezo TV.
Yes.
The zone.
Yes.
The zone
Yes.
is a product. Eddie Hearn and they
Mhm.
put up this product, but we don't
Yes.
have to follow what they're doing. We have to do it ourselves. We got to build
Yes.
our
Our
own
own
product
way.
here. We got to have our
Yes.
own pay-per-view channels here. We got to put up
Yes.
this massive media conferences. We got to
Yes.
look at that. We've got the ability. We've got the capacity. You guys are
Yes.
showing us as
Mm.
Mbuyegezo. It's Mbuyegezo, right? Mbuyegezo
Yes.
TV.
Mbiegezo.
You
Yeah.
got the
Means reward.
capacity.
Yeah.
You got a capacity. And we got to now change. People say think out of the box. And I'm just saying
Yes.
change the narrative. This is what I say. We
Yes.
change the narrative. And we start
Yeah.
looking at how we grow our sport. We cannot anymore. We can no longer afford to become development. We can't
No.
become a
No.
third world country anymore. We can't become
Yes.
a
Yes.
developmental state where our
Yes.
boxing also is developmental. We got to
Mm.
now look at, can we get a world title fight? We get Mayweather to come here, fight one of our boxers here. We
Yes.
got to
Yes.
we got to change that whole narrative, and this is where the
Yeah.
sport needs to go. And I'm happy.
Yes.
Maybe we have a new boxing board. And under
Yes.
Lutando Jack, and we got to be
Yes.
looking at that. We seriously
Yeah.
looking at how we change the narrative.
Yes.
And as you said
And
earlier
support
on,
them.
we got to look at how we bring sponsors, because sponsors are attracted by the brand
Yes.
that
Yes.
we put out there. If we're putting
Mhm.
out a development and we're saying we're always developing, sponsors are not
Yes.
attracted to that. We need to
Exactly.
put up major shows like the one that is happening with Tete now. That's
Yes.
like a major show,
That's a big show.
And
It
when we
is. Yeah.
start doing that, we can attract sponsors.
Yes.
But we need to also go out there, seek sponsors, attract them to the sport, talk to them,
Yes.
bring them into
Yeah.
the sport, so that
Yes.
the boxers can grow, so that the sport can grow. So
Yes.
we have to start thinking differently from what we did in the past 10 years or
Mhm.
20 years. And we got to
Yes.
look at, COVID has given us time to really think,
Think.
to really have time to think and say, what can we do now? So
Yes.
those are the
Yes.
challenges that are coming, maybe 2022, starting there, going forward, and how we do things differently.
Exactly. Yeah, we have to find a way. We have to find a solution. But simple. I mean, we've got this. We can do it. If we can just put our heads and our hearts together.
Mm,
To find a solution.
mm,
For us, as you rightfully put it, we've created a complete pay-per-view platform.
mm,
Whether you are anywhere in the world, you can buy the fight.
mm.
That's a platform that we have currently. But of course,
Well,
the issue of sponsorship is a challenge. So we need to put our heads together and
mm,
see what we can do to transform this sport. Because as we are fully putting it, if we focus on development, we lose the boxers. But if there is
mm,
no opportunity for growth for the boxers themselves, for the managers, for the promoters, we will lose them. We have to start afresh all the time.
absolutely.
So, but if we work together, and we'll be able to take our sport forward. And I see something very
Mm,
interesting that is happening here in Gauteng. Promoters are working together, and this
mm.
is beautiful. And now we see tournaments. We see boxers even from Eastern Cape and
Absolutely.
elsewhere coming to fight here. This shows that working together you can get better results. So I don't know what to think about the structure that the Gauteng Promoters Association has taken to decide to work together and that has actually made them to be successful, especially this year and going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it's also happening in KwaZulu-Natal, in KZN,
Oh,
where
okay.
they've banded together, and obviously the province is participating as well. I
Okay.
think the crucial thing, and this is a message that I would send out there, because I said earlier on, we are family. We are,
Yeah.
as
Yes.
much as we are different individuals, but we dissipate and spend a lot of time together. I
Yes.
think
Yes.
with respect and with obviously talking together, and making ensuring
Mm,
that we understand each other and find each other,
mm,
we are better placed to deal with the challenges that we have in the sport. It's
yeah.
no use to be divisive. It's no use that we're
Mhm.
casting stones at each other whilst at the same time we're trying to build the brand of boxing. It's about the boxers.
Mm,
So we got to put the
yeah.
boxers first,
Yes.
the boxers' interest first, and we got to
Mm,
be, each and everyone expert in their own
mhm.
given areas. Bring it on board and start working together collectively instead of throwing stones at each other, and actually, working against each other. So we need to find
Yes.
each other. We need to
Yes.
find common ground. We need to
Mm,
say, listen, we're
yeah.
doing it for the sport. It's not for us as
Mhm.
individuals or as a person or as a
Yes.
personality, but how can we
Mhm.
collectively work together to ensure that we
Mm,
achieve the aims that we want to achieve in boxing. So thank you
yeah.
to all the fans out there, whether they be in Eastern Cape, whether they be in Northwest, but
Yeah.
all of us are making a meaningful change, a meaningful
Yeah.
contribution in the
Mm,
change within our sport. So that is
yes.
pivotal,
Yes. Yes.
that we all hold hands together and walk the
Mm.
same road.
Yes, no, that's true, Principal. And I think we need to get the other provinces to use the same model that is used in Gauteng, in KZN, as we put it, and Eastern Cape must come up and maybe implement the same model, Western Cape, and grow the sport, nationally, so that the sport can be in the mainstream. And we can talk about our sport, almost every week, instead of waiting for big fights. Yeah. Okay, Principal, thank you very much for the interview. I would like to keep it longer, but I think the technology is like playing games with us. But I think this session has been very informative, and must congratulate you for all your successes in the sport of boxing, and congratulate you also for being appointed as the ring announcer for the Tete and Nomevas fight that is coming. And yes, colleagues, that was our debate with Sipho. If he comes back, we'll ask him his best pound for pound boxers for 2021. Then we close it. Thank you very much, guys. Gonna put Sipho.
Yes, I'm there.
Okay. And then, Pursuko, thank you very much. I was saying that when you come back, we will ask you about this is the question that we ask everyone, your best pound for pound boxers for 2021.
2021, without a doubt, is gonna be. If are you talking internationally or here in
Yes,
South Africa?
internationally.
Internationally, it's gonna be um, uh, Canelo Alvarez. Canelo
Canelo
Alvarez
Alvarez is the number
he's
one.
done very
Yes.
well. I think winning a unified super middleweight title. He's the best. He's like undisputed.
Yes.
Um, look, in South Africa, I think we got the two boys, Azinga Fuzile.
Azinga
We
is
got
the number two.
yes, Azinga Fuzile, and then Steven Onchinga.
Yes.
Yes, and yeah, I think in that order,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes, in that
That's
order,
three. You need 5.
Yeah, but yeah, Canelo Alvarez. Yes,
Yes.
he's actually put himself up there as one of the greats, all-time
Yeah,
greats.
that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
Tyson Fury, Tyson Fury,
Yes.
Tyson Fury. Also,
Yeah.
I think he's proved himself against Wilder. You know,
Yes.
and then Usyk, and then you got a little guy like Usyk, who comes from
Yes. Yes.
cruiserweight, and he's also made a mark.
Yes. He
Yeah,
did a
Usyk has
great
made
job,
a
by
mark. I don't know
dethroning.
how people really wrote off Usyk. I always thought he was going to win.
No, I thought he
Unbeaten in
performed
18
very
fights.
well.
He was always going to be a tough fighter
Mm,
for tough opponent
for
for
Joshua.
AJ. Yes,
Yes.
he was
Yes.
always going to become a tough opponent,
Yes.
and he proved that, and he's one of the best.
No, that's true. That's true. Okay. No, thank you, Putsipo, for gracing us this evening with your presence. We will. This is live on YouTube and Facebook, and it's going to be available almost immediately after we finish. And thank you very much. Until next time, we will invite you, of course, next time, even if it's next year, you know, to just discuss the plans for the year and how you see, boxing stakeholders working together to grow the sport. So thank you very much, Peter.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
It's been quite an honor and a
Have a great
privilege. And
evening.
thank you to all the fans and everybody that's watching the show. Thank you and bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you very much. Trying to write this your banner. Must have a great evening, Putsipo. We will talk, Bodine.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Guys, please subscribe to the channel. Please write to us at mulelotopiso@gmail.com. Your comments, ideas, and people you want us to interview. Thank you very much and